Hello, and welcome to Small Business Success Stories at SCORE Houston. This is where we bring insights, experiences, and the journey of successful small business entrepreneurs. SCORE mentors volunteer their time to guide small businesses. SCORE is America's largest network of volunteer business mentors supported by the U.S. Small Business Administration. Here in Houston, we provide free confidential mentoring and education to help entrepreneurs start, grow, and succeed. Now, let's dive into today's small business success story.
Listeners, if you're finding value in this conversation, please take a moment to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It is completely free and takes just one tap. Your subscription helps us bring you new episodes every week with practical insights for Houston's small business community.
My guests today are the trio behind Garden Girls, a Houston-based design company that has become the city's go-to name in boutique kitchen gardens. They are Nicole Shah, Jen McDonald, and Jill Oliver, who came to this work from very different places: law, media, and 4 generations of Texas growers. And together, they turn ordinary backyards into beautiful, productive spaces. Work that's been featured in Martha Stewart and Real Simple. And this year, they were named the SBA Garden Girls of 2026 Houston District Blue Collar Small Business of the Year. Nicole, Jen, Jill, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us. We're thrilled to share our story today with you, and we hope we can inspire somebody to take that leap and start from scratch like we did. So my name is Jen McDonald, and like you said, we each came from very different backgrounds. Jill is our native Houstonian, and she was a speech pathologist in her former life. Nicole actually grew up in West Virginia, and she is our lawyer and in-house counsel. She's a master at spreadsheets in our organization. And I am Jen. I'm from California, and I was formerly in pharmaceutical sales. So we each bring something different to the table, but what really united us was we all had a love and a passion for gardening. I would say that Nicole and I are late gardeners to Houston because we moved here from different states. Jill is a 4th generation beekeeper, and her family had a very long history of gardening. And it's something that we have always enjoyed with our families. But really, once we all had kids, we knew that we wanted to re-enter the workforce, but in a different way. And this was more really about finding our passion and purpose, and we call it our Life 2.0. So like I said, we're self-taught gardeners like our mentors, Martha Stewart and Bunny Williams. And that's really an important quality because our clients resonate with us. They want somebody who learned just like they did. So we started this business because really we were our clients. We wanted these beautiful kitchen gardens. We wanted them to be productive, but we also wanted to learn exactly what grows well in Houston and during which season, and then how to take care of it. So we initially began working for another company, and we gained our experience sort of in the fields. But the owner lived out of state, and the 3 of us found ourselves doing all the day-to-day operations. After a few years, we realized that we wanted to work more closely together, and the dream of Garden Girls started to take shape. We were a little nervous. We didn't know if we could do this, but in the back of our heads, we always encourage our kids to pursue their passions and try new things. And this was a time in our lives when we were in our 40s, late 40s, when we were ready to challenge ourselves. And actually, our husbands were the first to say, if not you, then who? So in January of 2022, we took the leap and we founded Garden Girls. It's truly a niche business, and we had to define ourselves and establish our parameters, who we are, what our company values are, what we want our customer experience to look like. And the reason why we're different is because this isn't a mainstream industry. We're not landscape architects. We're not landscape designers. We're really garden designers who take on bigger projects, but the heart and soul of our business is always starting with a raised bed kitchen garden. So I'm painting a pretty picture of who we are and what we wanted for our company, which was a turnkey luxury experience, but also backed with education so that we could not just install a garden and walk away, but we could create confident gardeners who walked with us and knew that they could find us for support anytime they needed it, but also providing that sort of 5-star turnkey luxury experience. So Nicole is going to expand on sort of what it took to get us here.
Nicole?
Yes, thank you, Jen. I love hearing our story. It's so special. I remember kind of praying every night, like, oh gosh, I want something. I need something else in my life. And all my lawyer friends were like, don't go back to being a lawyer. You didn't like it. And so it took me about a year of real self reflection of like what I wanted to do. And one morning I woke up and I was like, I love gardening. I want to garden. Like, that's what I want to do. I'm very lucky that, my family doesn't depend on my income to feed them or pay the bills. So I was able to pursue something that I loved and we've had a lot of success at it. But when we first started, we all three have different talents, but we all three are very good garden designers and have the same aesthetic. And I think that's very important. We would design the space very similarly. So from that standpoint, a person that walks into one of our designs will never know if I was kind of the main designer, Jill was the main designer, or Jen was the main designer. We design them with the same parameters. But running a business, we bring different things. So I am very organized. I am type A, and I kind of make sure the ship is always sailing forward, right? And Jen is amazing dreamer. She brings the dreams to our team. Like, why not us? Why can't we be in Martha Stewart? Why can't we win this award? Let's pursue it. So she's kind of always just helping us like dream big and not get, there's so much day to day when you own a business that you can kind of forget about like dreaming big for your business. And so Jen's very good at that. And then Jill knows everyone in Houston, and she has never met a plant she doesn't want to rescue or love. So she is sort of our cheerleader. She's part of the River Oaks Garden Club, which has been a huge benefit she's learned so much through the garden club and led awesome talks to the garden club. It's been just a huge benefit of new people to meet that love gardening.
So
And
she's the networker.
she's our networker. Yeah, she's our
So
rainmaker.
you say networking is a pretty good way of getting to know potential clients.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
It's getting
And
to know people.
yes. So she's from Houston, so she knows a lot of people just from growing up here. So she's such an important part of in that way. So yeah. So and I would say kind of on that, most of our business comes from repeat business or people that like their friends saw their garden and then they want a garden. So
So you don't have to build billboards on the highway to get business.
That's right.
$2,000 a month.
Right.
It's really, it's a handshake and a smile, getting to know people and spreading the word, and hopefully happy customers will refer business to you. So it doesn't take a lot of money to market necessarily.
Right. So we do educational talks, and those have been great, like for like Bearings, which is a local hardware store. We've gone to Buchanan's, which is a local nursery. We do for like garden clubs. So we do talks, and that gets our name out there, which is great. Our clients love us. We, at the end of the day, we go above and beyond with our clients. We always say we're not going to be happy unless your garden looks like our garden. So I think
I like
just
that.
treating every garden like it's ours, it shows, and then our clients are happy. And it's hard to find good people. It really is. It's hard to find dependable, good people to work in your home and make your home beautiful. So
I have a team of craftsmen and workers, laborers who do a lot of the heavy lifting, I assume. So
yes.
some of this is major overhaul.
Yes. So a crew of laborers, and then we have specialized craftsmen that make the beds for us and the trellises.
Gotcha.
Then we have 2 garden coaches on our team, which help with just after the initial design is done, they kind of help with managing the install a little bit and help with following up with the client and making sure the garden looks how we want it to look.
What do you think some of the challenges were when you started getting this business off the ground?
I think the first challenge is identifying what we weren't going to be good at and then hiring that out. So even though I'm a really good kind of bookkeeper, like I don't know about paying taxes, I don't know about payroll. So having a good accountant was like critical in the beginning. So we found a great accountant and he is still with us and he's helped our business grow. He's there to answer questions. We actually, which was very scary, and he helped us through the process. Great. Also, for us, a picture is worth 1,000 words. We do, and we have these beautiful presentations where we want to highlight gardens. And so hiring a really good photographer to take pictures of our gardens.
Oh, so you did a lot of good self-promotion. You learned
Yes.
how to promote.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
those were our two real big hires in the beginning, where we were pretty much doing everything else there ourselves in the beginning, except for our, crew but hiring the accountant and hiring a professional photographer, I think were pretty and kind of helping us move forward.
So those were key decisions into you feel for your success.
Yes.
Now you brought in a couple of SCORE volunteers, Art O'Connor and Greg Helma, somewhere along the way. How did you use their skill set to benefit your business?
So we had been successful from the very beginning, which was, we were tight with our budget. We don't have an office, and that really helps. We work out of our home, and then our office just kind of becomes the gardens. Like when we're installing or in a garden, we kind of meet as a team at that point. But success, and we were growing, but we were having a lot of decision making on how we were going to grow. And I said, I think we need some mentors. I think, are we going to buy a truck or are we going to hire a full-time person? Like we just had some really big decisions to make. And so I work out with it. With the hair salon suggested SCORE. And he said SCORE mentors kind of helped him in the beginning set up our business. So our business was already set up. We were probably 2 years old when we got our SCORE mentors.
So they were more like a accelerator for expansion.
Exactly. Yes. And even though they are both in the oil and gas industry and we are in the gardening business and they don't really know much about gardening, they have been an excellent sounding board. Because I think a lot of times you just need to talk through something and you kind of see the answer once you're talking through it. Or they also help, remind me like, okay, so what are your goals? What's your 5-year goal? Is this part of like your key business that you want to keep? Do you really want to go out to Katy? Maybe it's just better that you stay inside the Beltway of Houston. So kind of really good questions. And then just listening, it's been like more exceeded my expectations.
Sure. I find when I mentor for groups like yours that I'm more of a referee because a partnership can go several ways. It's kind of like a challenge in marriage. Only a little closer, I think, sometimes, because there's a lot of ego involved. It's your hobby that's now become your main gig. We're accelerators. So, yeah, and we work cheap, and that's,
It is nice. It is nice. And I think
yeah.
also from SCORE's perspective, I have done a few of the kind of free education, like the webinars, and those have been helpful. Just like I did one on women-owned business, right? And I was like, do we need to become a women-owned business? Like have that sort of status? And I found out we really don't need to spend our time on that because we are not going after a lot of government contracts or business contracts. We really do more residential. We do a little bit of commercial work. So it was just kind of a good like to listen to the seminar and be like, okay, that's not the path we need. We don't need to spend our time on that because, time is our most limited resource, really. So the seminars and the webinars.
All right. Well, we've heard from two of you, and there's a mystery person who I'm sure is waiting in the wings who would like to put her 2 cents in. Let's hear from her.
Hi, Jeffrey. Thank you so much for having us. And I've also loved hearing just our story from Jen and Nicole talking about some of our challenges and some of our celebrations. And I'll just share a little bit more. We talked a minute ago about relationships and networking and marketing. And I would just say that, believe it or not, so there are 8 children between us that represent 7 different schools. And when word got out just how passionate we were about gardening, kids' parents started asking questions and wanting to know more and more about it. And they could just see our love for what we do. And I think that has kind of been for me probably the thing that I celebrate about gardening is how much I love to do it. And also, I just want to pony off a little bit about we talked about having a photographer, and I just think the photos are have been so important to us. For example, we do use Instagram and Facebook and a little bit of TikTok, but photograph that I love, it is raised beds and it has an arch trellis. We design all of our arches and all of our trellises, and we name them after our kids, by the way. And in the back of it is a fig tree. But as I hold up my hands, I have a handful of beautiful jalapenos. And I talked in that Instagram post about how I could use those for making nachos or having with a little bit of a tequila with some spice, right? And
Uh-huh.
so I just wanted to say, whatever you do in life, have some passion and some love behind it, and that will take it far for you.
Jill, let me ask you this. You're a fourth generation Texas gardener, beekeeper, etc. I guess that's
Yes.
apiarist. Now, that said, your business with the girls must have had some bumps along the way. I think the audience
Yes,
wants
yes.
to hear
A little
everything wasn't rosy at the beginning.
right, right. And as the gardener perspective of that, Jeffrey, is that we are dealing with nature and living plants. And so you can imagine, so we plant very, very intensively because we want things to have that fullness and all of that growth. But you can imagine we are in Houston, Texas, where our summers are getting hotter and hotter, and our winters are actually getting colder. And we're in the middle of changing zones, actually, to show that. And so, not everything is going to survive and live. And in fact, we tell our clients that about 10% of what we plant is going to die. And so, but having said that, there is so much that grows. And we like to say there's going to be winners and losers in the garden. Some things will be shaded out, and we'll have to yank those out because they will not survive. So I would just say we're dealing with the weather, living plants, and some other challenges. Well, just like I said, the heat, we dress appropriately. We are, we protect our skin and our faces with hats. We are challenges like that. But I will say the thing that we do celebrate is come October, November, December, we are able to garden, you know, well, all year long. And we have wonderful falls and winters where we can grow brassicas and have salad gardens with kales and broccolis and beautiful arugulas. I,
So
I think
you've really turned what could have been a challenge into an asset. You've adapted to our climate. You know growing. You're obviously the horticulturist here who's got a family history of it. And I assume everybody has a separate skill set here. So your partnership is really a synergistic powerhouse of
absolutely.
garden geniuses who can put together really elaborate projects because you all have different skill sets, whether you're a lawyer, a spokesperson, a networker,
Yeah.
or somebody who actually knows the art of growth in horticulture.
Yes.
You all have now probably equaled your knowledge out by sharing your expertise with one another. So this is truly synergistic. What about the idea of moving from all of your individual businesses? You were a speech pathologist. I mean, wow, that was just out of nowhere. You took
Mhm.
your hobby and made it a business, and a lawyer, is sales rep. All of these talents, you had to give up something to get something. Do you feel ownership in business has given you some positives? Time, money, freedom, options, not having to work for a boss that you don't agree with. You became your own bosses. Do you see some pluses and minuses there?
I think it's harder to become your own boss in the sense that you never stop thinking about it. So we will text each other until 11:30 at night and go to bed thinking about somebody's project. And the first thing we do at 6 a.m. is text each other again. So there's really no 9 to 5 job. But the beauty in that is that we also get to work from home and we get to take our kids to, games, or we set our schedules up so that the good thing is there's 3 of us, so that there's always somebody here to manage a project.
Sure.
That's the plus and the minus, I suppose, of being your own boss. But I can tell you this, of all the successes that the 3 of us have had in business and careers before this has been the most rewarding, hard journey that we've ever been on. And I was just at a lacrosse tournament with my daughters, and there was a mother there, and we had crossed paths years ago. And she said, I just want to tell you that I've been a silent kind of observer. I've watched you grow in the last 4 years. And she meant not just in business, but personally. And she's seen the joy that it has given me. And she said, I wish I had that. And that alone is something that we want everyone to hear. You can be the driver or you can be the passenger, but we only have one life. If you can be the driver of your own destiny and create a job, even if it doesn't exist, if you can find your passion and pray on it and go for it, whether you think you fail or succeed, going for it is a success.
Well said.
It's true though, isn't it? I mean, really and
isn't it?
truly,
Yeah.
we have one
Yeah.
life to live. And if you are in a miserable career and you've had this thought in your head, just in the back of your head that's marinated, if you don't take that chance, you will regret it so much more than trying it and maybe failing or maybe learning something different. We're accidental entrepreneurs. I don't think any of us thought that this would happen 20 years ago, but we couldn't be happier.
Glad to hear it. Well, on that happy note, I will say thank you to the Garden Girls here in Houston, and a pleasure to talk to. Is interesting. I've been reading your backgrounds, and you put it all together. It sounds like, Martha Stewart has recognized you, Good Housekeeping, the SBA, Small Business Administration has recognized you. You took advantage of all your success. I think a lot of people who have jobs, America was built on capitalism and entrepreneurship. But boy, it's a lot more fun riding this carousel in life around one time and building your own dream.
Yes.
Win or fail.
Right.
It's still, like you said, Jen, it's your dream. And thank you all again. Thank you, Garden Girls.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up, a quick favor. If you find this podcast valuable, please hit subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It is free, takes just a second, and helps us continue bringing you weekly episodes designed to support your business journey.
Thank you for listening to Small Business Success Stories at SCORE Houston. If you are an entrepreneur or small business owner, we'd love to support your journey. You can reach us at 713-487-6565 or visit us at 8701 South Gessner, Suite 1200, Houston, Texas, 77074. Our office is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., except for federal holidays, and walk-ins are always welcome. To learn more, request free mentoring, or register for our workshops, visit us online at www.score.org/Houston. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, at SCORE, we're here to help you thrive.